Walensky and Dalby Shirley. The timekeeper is Jane Broadfoot. Counting at the knockdowns, Al Bisick. The attending physicians at ringside, Drs. Flip Omansky and James A. Gaines. Your referee is Joey Curtis. This is the main event of the afternoon. 15 rounds of boxing for the IBF Lightweight Championship of the World. Introducing, in the blue corner, the challenger, fighting out of Fort Worth, Texas, with a professional record of 27 wins, 2 defeats with 18 KOs. Here he is, Rockin' Robin Blake. And in the red corner, from Detroit, Michigan, his professional record is 22 wins, 1 defeat, also with 18 KOs. He weighs 134 3/4 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, the IBF Lightweight Champion of the World, Jimmy Paul.
Sellout crowd here, standing room only at the Sports Pavilion here in Las Vegas, Nevada. The referee, Joey Curtis, giving the final instructions to Blake on the left, the champion Paul on the right. And Jimmy Paul came in at 134 3/4, a quarter-pound under the limit. Robin Blake at 134. And you can see the height reach advantage go to Robin Blake. Jimmy Paul, 2 years older at age 25, got the chance to win the title from Harry Arroyo when Blake, who was scheduled to meet Arroyo for the title, injured a hand in training and had to pull out. And so Blake now gets a delayed chance, but against the new champion, this young man, Jimmy Paul, making his first defense. There are many champions here at ringside for this fight that boxing experts expect to be a dandy. Donald Curry, a stablemate of Robin Blake's, the welterweight champion. Gene Hatcher, the junior welterweight champion, both of the WBA. They're here to cheer on Robin Blake. Milton McCrory from the Kronk stable of Jimmy Paul is here as well, and we have the usual star-studded group, including Rocky himself, Sylvester Stallone. Underway in round number 1, scoring on the 10-point must system by 3 judges at ringside: Dalby Shirley of Las Vegas, Lucien Jobert of New Orleans, and Al Walensky of Miami.
Well, Blake is doing what he should be doing, Tim, and that is boxing, staying on the outside, keeping Paul at long distance. Paul is a very patient fighter. He works his way in with the left jab. He sets you up. Very powerful, very devastating right hand.
Jimmy Paul has lost only once, a controversial decision loss to Darrell Tyson. He wants badly to face Tyson again and erase that blot on his record. Robin Blake has lost twice to former champion Harry Arroyo, but prior to Arroyo having won the title, and to Tyrone Crawley, who's expected to meet Livingstone Bramble very shortly for the WBA championship.
If Blake stays consistent with that jab of his, he's going to create a lot of problems for Paul, because Paul has problems with southpaws, especially tall guys.
You know, one thing that was very impressive about Paul when he won the title against Arroyo is that he doesn't present you much of a target. He gets turned well and kind of points that shoulder at you, and he's a hard guy to hit. He's a very good defensive fighter as well as a big bomber, isn't he?
Excellent defensive fighter, Tim. He has good balance. That's the key to being a good defensive fighter. Now, watching Blake here, he's throwing that jab and it's a straight left hand, but he had better hook behind it, or Jimmy's going to nail him with that right hand.
Saw the left hand come from Robin Blake. He has a solid right jab. The left hand is his big weapon. It's also the hand that has suffered injury before, and the one that delayed his title opportunity against Arroyo. And there's a right hand shot from Jimmy Paul that landed. Blake says the hand is fine. He's physically and mentally in the best prepared state of his entire young boxing career.
Ray, so far, Robin Blake is sticking to a pretty good fight for him. He's moving to his right, away from Jimmy Paul's right hand. It's a matter of, it's mind over matter. Now, Paul should try to move Blake the other way.
Well, what you might see in Robin Blake, in fact, this is history. Once he gets hit by a good shot, he resorts to fighting inside. And that is a big mistake he can make with Jimmy Paul.
Approaching the 30-second mark remaining in round 1, scheduled for 15, the championship distance for the International Boxing Federation, newest of the world boxing organizations. Under the 30-second mark we go, and a left by Blake landed. And a good combination by Paul, and that wobble Blake, he backs up. Solid combination scored by the champion.
Notice how quickly Paul gets back on balance when he throws a punch.
by Old Spice after shave and cologne.
When I fought Marcel Sedan for the title, while I was fighting this guy, I said, I know when this thing is over, I'm going to be champ. It was a dramatic, beautiful feeling. As a matter of fact, I cried after it was all over. I was so happy I cried. And I became middleweight champ of the world. What a happy feeling that was.
Round number 2, scheduled for 15. Tim Ryan with Gil Clancy, Sugar Ray Leonard, live in Las Vegas, watching Robin Blake, the challenger, in pink, and the champion Jimmy Paul from the Kronk stable in Detroit, Michigan.
Blake was rocked by a tremendous left hook of Jimmy Paul, and fortunately, the round was just about over because he was hurt.
Early in round 2, a sellout crowd here in the Sports Pavilion. Knowledgeable boxing fans in Las Vegas all turned out for this fight. More than 4,000 and literally standing room.
Jimmy Paul is what you consider a technician in boxing because he utilizes every punch, the left jab, the right hand, the hook. He sets you up.
Gil, you often say that when a boxer wins the title, it makes him about 25% better automatically. And talking to Jimmy Paul, watching him work in the gym the other day, you can see that new confidence, poise, and just that championship attitude.
Tim, I've never seen it to fail. Well, it always makes a fighter a better fighter.
And a little richer too, Gil.
Right. Good point, Ray.
You sure would know about that, Ray. Well, Jimmy Paul is allowing Robin Blake to move the way he wants to move. Again, we mentioned that Jimmy Paul is a very, very patient guy. Fight, but if he gets to be about the 8th or 9th round, Manny Stewart is certainly going to tell him stop. You know, he's going to have to do something different. Because Blake is scoring points with that right jab.
Paul with 18 knockouts in his 22 victories, but went the distance to beat Arroyo for the title, 15 rounds. Blake, 18 knockouts in his 27 wins. Under a minute to go, round number 2.
Paul is throwing out now what I call range fighters. He's really not trying to nail him, but he's just trying to get the range.
What you normally see in Robin Blake in his past history, he used to jump on his opponent, throw a lot of punches, but I'm sure he respects the talent of Jimmy Paul, and that's the reason he's boxing. He realized the punching power.
Oh, Ray, Blake is starting to do just what you said. He threw a dangerous wide left hand to the body against Jimmy Paul.
Well, you know, I expected the right hand of Paul to land, but it was the left hook that did the most damage. And his left jab has been consistent and quite accurate.
To the end of round number 2, with a flurry by Blake. Final seconds.
Presented by Old Spice antiperspirant and new improved stick deodorant.
Anytime I climbed inside the ring, I was always extremely afraid. More so that all the things that I did was on instinct. I was so fearful. I would never shake or anything because I was able to control my fear, but I would think that, will I freeze? But the moment the bell would ring, I would become like a maniac.
Rocky IV, Sylvester Stallone filming the 4th episode of the Rocky saga here in Las Vegas this week, and he won't miss a big fight if he's anywhere in the territory. He's here to watch Blake and Paul, the champion on the right, now circling to the left, in white, Robin Blake in the pink trunks. Live from Las Vegas, Tim Ryan with Gil Clancy and Sugar Ray Leonard. We are into round 3, scheduled for 15.
The reason Paul is able to get some leverage behind his punches, he's keeping that left foot of his out on the outside of Blake's right foot. Bringing it inside, you tend to get off balance.
Blake was better the exchange on that last one, but not landing any damaging blows.
Just walked into a short right hand, Tim. Didn't bother him, but he got nailed with it.
Terry Arroyo found out Jimmy Paul is a hard hard target to find.
There's a lot of pressure on Robin Blake, but this is an opportunity that might not come around again.
I think he understands that clearly, even though he's lost only 2 fights, and even though he's only 23 years of age. I think he's very aware that this may be the last chance at the gold ring for him. He'd have to really start from a way back if he loses here. Not necessarily the way it should be, just the way it is in modern boxing.
What could possibly work for Blake is he should pick the pace up. Because what he's doing now, he's actually fighting Jimmy Paul's fight. Slowly and being very patient.
Under a minute we go on round number 3.
He set up perfectly with that over the left jab.
At the 30-second mark, Blake landed a good right to the body underneath the elbow of Paul. Paul tried to get that right hand down the pipe again, just missed.
Good body shot by Robin Blake.
And a combination to the head of the champion, Paul. Blake finishing round 3 with a flourish.
All these tires are all on sale now at Sears. Sears SuperGuard radials are now 50% off. And that's not all. Sears 36 battery is now just $27.88. And that's not all. Heavy-duty shocks are now just $5.99. All this and all tires 10 to 50% off. But soon, it will all be over.
There's more for your life.
We install confidence
At Sears.
Round number 4 of this IBF Lightweight Championship. Blake comes out quickly here with a sharp right jab, catching the champion Paul. Judges in the fight on the 10-point must system are from Miami, New Orleans, and Las Vegas.
It appears to me that Jimmy Paul is throwing a right hand. He's drilling the right hand to the body. I guess he's trying to make Blake think about his right hand and drop that left hook on him.
I understand we had some technical difficulties for a brief moment. We apologize for that. Hope you're hearing and seeing well now.
Blake is dropping his right hand. So the left hook of Jimmy Paul should get inside.
But as long as the fight continues this way, Robin Blake moving to his right, doing what he wants to do, and in my opinion, he's scoring points. Jimmy Paul is the one that's going to have to start putting a little pressure on Blake and trying to make Blake move the other way. Well, there's that left hook you were talking about, Ray, but it missed. See, Blake is just sliding outside Paul's punches all the time, moving to his right.
Well, for Blake to box, it's in his best interest. He's able to utilize that height advantage.
You said that, again, that Paul is a patient fighter, but you do have to try different things in there.
Well, we're only in round 4. Maybe he feels that if he lands that one big right hand, it's, if not stop Rockin' Robin, he would be able to slow him up some.
Well, Tim, I've seen a lot of fighters, they wait and wait and wait because they know they have that big punch, and finally the bell rings at the end of the fight, and they're still waiting.
Yeah, but we're only in round 4, Gil, is all I'm saying. It's a 15-round fight.
That's 2 good body shots by Paul.
Now we see some hand speed of Robin Blake.
Body shot shots back from the challenger Blake. Under the 30-second mark we go. Round 4. One thing for sure, to follow your point, Gil, is that the longer it continues in this mode, the more confidence that Blake's going to get. Got to do him a wealth of good in terms of what he thinks he can do to the champion. Final seconds of round number 4.
Riding along in my GTI, my baby sitting by my side. I stole a kiss at the turn of a mile, my curiosity running wild. Cruising and playing the radio, with no particular place to go.
The new Volkswagen GTI is fun, even with no particular place to go. GTI, Motor Trend's Car of the Year.
Round number 5. Jimmy Paul, the champion in white. Robin Blake, the challenger in pink, ranked number 3 by the International Boxing Federation, behind Hector Camacho and Barry Michaels of Australia. Jim Ryan with Sugar Ray Leonard, Gil Clancy, live from Las Vegas. Good body shots by the challenger Blake.
And Tim, I notice now Blake is starting to put his head right in there. And there he got nailed by that right hand.
Jimmy Paul with 3 consecutive shots to the head of Blake.
Slows down some of the movement of Blake and Stone's body shots.
Nice and easy, nice and easy. Let's
He needs to slow movement down or either cut the ring off.
Dave Gorman is screaming to Robin Blake to box. But again, now he's standing right in front of Paul. When he does that, that's when he gets nailed. Forgetting all about that movement to the right. Decided to take a fight out of it. He wants a war, and that's what he's going to get from Jimmy.
Blake's best punches in that exchange to the body. Paul so good defensively at stopping the head shot, but Blake was landing to the body.
What I like about Jimmy Paul, he keeps his eyes on his man. Concentration is the key here. Notice the way he digs from left foot to his body.
Blake staying there flat-footed, landing to the body. Now he landed a right hand. Hurt Jimmy Paul with that.
Now, Blake has to be extra careful here because those shots are being caught on the arm and glove of Jimmy Paul. So now what could possibly happen? He could get arm weary and Paul could come back.
That's right, Ray. Blake is expending a lot of energy. Jimmy Paul's just nice, very, very cool blocking those punches. Blocked one with his chin. He's blocking most of the punches.
Under a minute to go in round 5.
Now we see that attitude of Robin Blake. He wants to go to war now.
Under the 30-second mark.
Standing right
down the pipe from the champion Paul. And a short left hook.
He's put both feet together, which proves he's hurt.
Well, Blake forgot all about the pre-fight strategy this round. Changed everything.
This has been the pattern, even in winning effort for Blake. Solid left jab by the champion. Combination back from Blake.
In the beginning, man's feet walked free. But the road to civilization was paved, so man developed shoes. Soon after that, man developed athlete's foot.
Egad.
Today, there's Mycotin. Mycotin cures athlete's foot. It's the only athlete's foot medicine you can buy with myconazole, a patented ingredient recommended by specialists to cure athlete's foot. Mycotin in spray, powder, or cream. Mycotin, the end of the road for athlete's foot.
Round number 6. Blake off the stool quickly again. Scheduled for 15. Blake going away from his boxing strategy that was working effectively through the first 4 rounds and toe-to-toe with Jimmy Paul through most of round number 5.
The 5th round, Robin Blake used a lot of energy. He threw a lot of punches, a lot of combinations.
His punches punches are wide, though, Ray, and Jimmy's able to block an awful lot of them. When Paul punches, he's a very accurate puncher.
Watch those elbows. Let's go again.
Of the Tropicana Hotel enjoying this one, and it looks like it's providing all of the action that was expected. Now Blake back to a more contained attack, moving to his right.
Mistake, he keeps putting both feet together, which makes him off balance. If he's hit, he could possibly go down. But while he's boxing, he's looking pretty good. He's making the fight difficult for Jimmy Paul. But when he decides to stand his toe-to-toe, that's the mistake.
Let's get out of there. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Let's go again.
Standing still again, Blake. Up. Drop that left hand.
Well, he thought about throwing it.
Yeah, either throw it or don't throw it, bro. Ray, you don't stop halfway. He's standing right in front of Jimmy Paul. As a matter of fact, he's moving to his left.
Right hand lead scored by Paul in the past exchange. Under a minute to go, round number 6.
Put your hands up free. Go ahead and fight.
Snap in his punch that Jimmy Paul has. You notice that, Ray?
Well, I guess because Blake has been hit by a number of big punches by a lot of fighters, and it takes his toll.
There you go.
10 seconds remaining in the 6th round.
Working out, sweating, gives me the edge. Afterwards, I want to feel dry and odor-free all day. Speed Stick antiperspirant gives me an edge, too. Speed Stick's the wide stick. Goes on dry for man-sized protection. Whatever game you're in, the wide stick gives you the edge.
Speed Stick Super Dry Antiperspirant.
Shaving's rough on sensitive skin, but after aftershave skin conditioner soothes.
Sensible care for sensitive skin. After.
By Menon.
Robin Blake, his trainer Joe Barrientos, round number 7 scheduled for 15. A little swelling under the right eye of Robin Blake, not a problem yet, and a slight little nick alongside of his nose, also on the right side. All the champion in white, the challenger Blake in pink. Referee Joey Curtis.
Watching Jimmy Paul in training with a pretty good southpaw, Joe Belink, he was having a lot of trouble with his balance. And it seems to me that Blake is giving Paul a lot more trouble than he should. Balance-wise, I'm talking about.
Jimmy Paul has carved out the territory in the center of the ring as his, and he just keeps circling around. I don't think he's moved 3 feet either way. He lets Blake go around him, and he just maintains that space.
Well, Jimmy Paul's basically just stalking Robin Blake. Blake actually is making him fight. And I think what Paul's trying to do is trying to make Blake open up so he can land some of those punches.
Champion strength in his counter-punching.
See what happens, Tim, when Blake throws his punches. Paul covers up, and then he retaliates.
Jimmy Paul grew up with the McCrory brothers. Milton and Steve joined the Kronk stable with them. Brother Danny Paul, a former professional, started in boxing, and Danny is now back in the gym at the Kronk, intending to resume his career.
Tim, I know it's early in the fight. It's only the 7th round, but Jimmy Paul is already, his mouth is open and he's starting to gasp a little bit for breath. It's kind of early to get tired.
there looking to counter, but Paul ducked away from the combination.
I noticed that when Paul throws his left jab and right hand, he should come follow with the left hook. Because see what is happening, Blake is standing straight up, right in front of Paul. So left hook will come into play.
You're right, Blake is looking more confident all the time, but that's the way a guy like Jimmy Paul likes you to get. He lulls you to sleep and then he puts you to sleep.
He just smacked Blake with a left hook. Ray pointed out. Solid right to the body by the champion as we come to the end of round number 7. Jimmy Paul and Robin Blake.
This bud's to everyone who tackles the changes and challenges of that new promotion.
This bud's for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. So this is you. For all you do.
Yep, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do. This bud's for you.
Tim Ryan, Joe Clancy, Sugar Ray Leonard, Jimmy Paul defending his IBF lightweight crown against Robin Blake. And on my scorecard, I've got Blake somewhat comfortably ahead as we are now approaching the halfway point of the fight. Let's see whether the champion starts to become a little more aggressive.
Tim, I agree with you. Jimmy Paul is letting Blake set the pace, move the way he wants to move, and do just about what he wants to do. Now, in between rounds in the corner, Dave Gorman said, I think you're better than this guy inside. If I was in Blake's corner, I'd tell him to just keep doing what he's doing and stay outside.
I agree, Gil. I would stay on the outside and do what I do best, and that's box.
Just keep scoring points. He's tall, he's a southpaw.
I think the type of fight we have here is the fact that Blake is getting off more punches quite naturally, but the more effective blows have been thrown by Jimmy Paul.
They've been few and far between, Ray.
There have been no knockdowns, no seriously damaging shots. A couple of stiff ones from the champion has backed up Robin Blake. No really telling blows as yet by either fighter. Wild left missed by Blake, and then the champion missed, but he landed a good solid left.
Blake is getting confidence. You can see it in his facial expression. He appeared to be very relaxed and in control at this point.
Jimmy Paul's first title defense. 25 years of age, got his opportunity against Terry Arroyo. He was very impressive in winning the crown. Snapping left jabs by Paul scoring. Just missed with that right hand. Whoa, that could have been all over. Another solid left by the champion. Now Paul coming forward, pressing the issue and scoring. Under a minute to go, round 8.
Blake doesn't seem to have any steam on his punches at all. They're scoring points, but they're not moving Paul at all when he gets hit.
Observe the left jab of Jimmy Paul. He started to snap Blake's head back.
Right hand lead landed by Paul. Combination scoring.
I'm very impressed with Jimmy Paul's right hand. It's like a radar.
Under the 30-second mark. Round number 8. Best round for the champion so far. Lost his balance, showing some experience there. Grabbed onto Robin Blake. Coming to the end of the 8th round, and it might be the round in which the champion has started to turn the tide back in his favor.
What do you call a charcoal that doesn't need lighter fluid? Convenient.
Matchlight charcoal. What could be more convenient?
Who can protect the wood on your home beautifully? Olympic Stain. Who's protected more homes than any other stain? Olympic Stain. Our linseed oil penetrates inside wood for strong protection outside. Who's got the inside on outside protection? Olympic Stain.
Round number 9. Tim Ryan with Gil Clancy, Sugar Ray Leonard live from Las Vegas. The champion, Jimmy Paul, coming off a strong 8th round against the challenger, Robin Blake.
The corner of Jimmy Paul is yelling, pick the pace up. He's falling behind on points.
The fact that Blake is moving so rapidly to the right, Ray, has Jimmy Paul all confused. Blake stays right outside Paul's punching power.
Well, Blake makes the fight so much easier for himself by moving the way he is. Just staying, constantly moving to the right.
In my opinion, there's no question that Paul is the more powerful puncher, the more accurate puncher. But again, there's an accumulation of these little punches by Robin Blake, scoring points. Now Paul had a good 8th round. He hasn't thrown a punch this round.
Good body shot by Blake.
And another.
This is what you call a controlled fight, Tim. Because Blake is able to do what he wants to do. He's working his jab up and down.
That was a nice move.
Pop shots.
Nice feinting jab. Feinted to the body, jab to the head. He's just circling outside of Jimmy Paul. Paul is fighting his shadow. Blake is never in front of him. Only the one round with Blake put his head in there and Paul was able to nail him with some pretty good shots.
Watch your head, watch your head, watch it, watch it. Come on, let's box it. Come on.
This isn't a great fight for the spectators, Tim, but again, it's what Blake has to do to win the championship.
Under a minute remaining in the 9th round. Solid right by Paul.
And why did that happen? Because Blake forgot and he was standing still.
And you'll notice every time that Blake stands directly in front of Paul, Paul's going to land with that right hand. He started to drop his right hand also, so left hook might fall. There it is.
Big left hook, that hurt him. He's got him in trouble. Jimmy Paul. Robin Blake trying to stay on his feet. He is in big trouble. Down he goes. The suddenness of the champion, Jimmy Paul. Who can do that? We've seen him do it before. Blake in control of the fight to this point. Time winding down in the 9th round. The challenger in trouble. It started with a big left hook. There's a right down the pipe. That staggered him again. And the bell ending round number 9 with Blake on his feet. And gets to the corner, but he is in difficulty now. Now the suddenness, the Cobra-like qualities of Jimmy Paul. As Gil said, he lulls you to sleep and then he puts you to sleep.
You got to sleep. All right.
Sent Robin Blake into a deep sleep there. There's the big left hook. That's the one that really hurt him. You see Blake trying to get away from it. And then now Paul with some free shots lands 4 good ones. And a right hand down the pipe that left Blake here just desperately by sheer guts staying on his feet. Finally went down on one knee, which might have been the best thing for him to do at that point.
It certainly was a smart thing for him to do, Tim. Took up 8 seconds of the round, gave him a chance to regroup.
I'm sure he didn't know what time it was in the round, but if he went down deliberately on one knee, it was certainly the good idea. And he managed to get through round 9. So we're into the 10th round, and Rockin' Robin Blake now grins over at the champion. And I gotta believe there's still a little gone from his leg. First knockdown of the fight scored by the champion, Paul. Let's see if Rockin' Robin Blake can get his legs back under him. He's moving here, trying to stay away from Paul. We've seen his guts before. That's not a question in this bout. He's not going to quit out there, but has he been hurt enough by Paul that he's simply not going to have enough left?
Tim, one of the big factors in the fight is the fact that Robin Blake cannot hurt Jimmy Paul. His punches don't seem to have any power at all.
Now there's Blake battling back, scoring 2 combinations, backing up Paul. Again, may not have been a whole lot of power on him, but keeping Paul off him. Now Paul pulls his way back with the right hand.
You can almost see the inevitable with Blake. He's dropping his hands, he's tired, and he's still hurt from the knockdown in the 9th round. What Paul is doing, he's just taking his time, and the smart thing to do, picking his shot.
Robin Blake with his family here, his wife Denise at ringside, brother Roddy,
Blake forgot all about his fight plan now. Tim, he's right in front of Jimmy Paul.
But Gil, just like you said earlier, the fact there is no sting behind Blake's punches. And that's the reason Paul is standing right in front of him. He's going to let him throw his punches, then he's going to come back with his own bombs.
And they are bombs, Ray.
You'd also notice that Blake is starting to put his head down. Another sign of fatigue.
Right down the middle, fell short. Blake picked it up. Now he takes a solid left jab from the champion. We're in round 10, scheduled for 15.
You know, Tim, now that Blake is standing flat-footed, maybe his punches will carry a little more steam. Before, he was always on the move.
Good combination by Blake. The left hand falling a little short. Under a minute to go, round 10. Listen to this crowd.
Again, Paul's going to the body. He should come back out with that left hook.
Blake banging for the body. He's got 500 fans from Texas up here in Las Vegas cheering him on. Knocked down in round 9, rallying rather well here in the 10th. Paul patiently looking for that opportunity, a combination that might send the challenger to the floor again. Under the 30-second mark to go, round 10. Right hand by Paul, snaps back, a combination lands. Blake stays right there, but he can't hurt Paul.
There, Paul came out with the left hook.
All right, we're going to be going to Dan Rather in New York for a special report at the end of this round on the return of the hostages and their... We are back looking now into the corners of both fighters here with Rockin' Robin Blake having some difficulty in the 9th round, being knocked down, rallying in the 10th, although we scored the round, at least I did, for the champion Jimmy Paul. It was nonetheless a rather good comeback by Robin Blake to get himself back into the fight. And he may still be ahead on the scorecards, although of course the champion picks up a 2-point round for his knockdown in round 9. Paul in white, Blake in pink. Well, a tribute to Blake's conditioning, gentlemen, that he did as well in round 10 as we saw.
It certainly was, Tim. He said he was in the best shape of his life, running 7-8 miles a morning, and it sure pays off.
He was nearly out on his feet in the 9th round.
Well, that's the reason he was able to recover from those big punches.
Now Jimmy Paul is starting to move to his left, making sure he keeps Blake in front of him. This is really a chess game. It's amazing. Blake's punches have no sting whatsoever.
Channing, Robin.
Tim, he's there. He's right in front of Paul, and he got nailed again.
He's dropping the hand again, and left hook is starting to fall.
Mr. Patience really can nail you.
We're live from Las Vegas, Nevada. Standing room only, sellout crowd. Watching this lightweight championship bout. Robin Blake knocked down on the 9th round by the champion Paul. We have him ahead on the scorecards going into that 9th round.
That body shot of Paul kind of folded Blake over.
Keep him up there.
Hard to know how the judges have scored it through the early rounds, but we had Blake ahead.
Blake is not putting any body behind his punches, Tim. All he's throwing is arm punches, and that's why Jimmy Paul is walking through him.
Sharp jab from the champion Paul, asserting himself more in the last 3 rounds. Starting in round 8, Paul turned the fight around.
And Paul is not wasting any energy. He's making every punch count.
That's definitely one of his talents. Under the 30-second mark in round number 11.
He's trying to get that left, Paul's trying to get that left hook in. The right hand's been landing.
Blake is now cut under the right eye, Tim.
Yeah, that's where he had that little swelling earlier, and now it's quite red.
I love the way Paul Digs that left hook to the body. Beautiful punch. Well-schooled fighter.
Coming to the end of the 11th round, the champion Jimmy Paul apparently assuming control.
See this strip of metal? Watch. This is the same kind of acid that's in your stomach, only we've made it 30 times stronger. Add a little aggravation and behold, acid indigestion. Let's see what Alka-Seltzer does to it. Alka-Seltzer neutralizes the excess acid in your stomach and also speeds relief to your headache. So even if you have an iron stomach, send Alka-Seltzer to the rescue and feel it making you feel better fast.
We are into round number 12. Tim Ryan with Joe Clancy, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Jimmy Paul with a left hook caught Blake. And the knockdown count being administered. They did rule it a knockdown. Paul was trying to get close to Blake to finish him off. And so in that case there, the knockdown count actually helped Blake. But he is in difficulty. The opening seconds of round number 12.
Paul is putting everything behind each punch.
And despite the fact he's putting everything behind him, Ray, they're still very, very short punches.
A lot of power. Good
big right hand.
What a right hand, and Robin Blake is still standing.
Blake definitely slowed down somewhat by those two shots early in this 12th round. Still a little unsteady on his legs, trying to get some bounce underneath him. Paul, seeing that, starts to flex.
Blake leaving himself wide open.
Wide open, yes he is. And he takes two shots down the pipe from the champion. Paul just picking his way now.
If I want to be respected for anything, Tim, it won't be for taking a punch. Blake is right directly in front of Jimmy Paul.
Not sure he can move now, though, Ray. I think his legs just aren't going to carry him laterally. Really taking punishment. Another left hook from Paul.
It's just a matter of time now, the way I see it.
Round number 12. Blake fighting valiantly back.
And I guess that's what you have to give credit to Blake. He's not a quitter.
Well, and if his thought processes are still all intact, then he's got to say to himself, hey, I think I won a lot of early rounds. If I can just stay busy, stay out of the champion's way, or who knows?
Well, he needs some sort of a big break, Tim.
Under a minute to go. He's two knockdowns scored against him, of course, so those are 2-point rounds each for Paul. One here in the 12th, one in the 9th.
I have seen Blake before, Tim, and he's had a lot more punching power, a lot more snap in his punches. I don't know where he left his punching power. Maybe a little too much road work. Is that possible, Ray?
Well, the road work definitely paid off in this case because it's still carrying him. I don't know. I'm sure this fight he's prepared well for it.
Under 30 seconds to go. Ray, a point you made earlier that he's been in a lot of tough fights in a young career. Even in his victory over Adolfo Medel, he didn't seem to have a whole lot of power in that fight. He just was a real busy guy and simply outpointed Medel with a gritty display. Wasn't ever able to really hurt Medel. Final seconds of round number 12. The end of round 12, so Jimmy Paul, while he scored a flash knockdown against Blake in the opening seconds of the round, unable to put him away. And so Blake still very much in the fight. 3 rounds to go. Here's what happened early in this round. He came out to the center of the ring and took that opening left hook from Paul. And they called it a knockdown, with Paul, of course, having the advantage here, gentlemen. If they hadn't called it a knockdown, he had Blake a little bit of trouble. He might well have stopped it there. But he had touched the canvas with his glove, so technically it was a knockdown, and Joey Curtis called it correctly, and Blake got the count. Mandatory 8 count in the second course. Joe Barrientos working in the shots go. Corner of Robin Blake and Emmanuel Stewart, Burgess, dropping to the champion, Jimmy Paul. From about round 8 on, the champion started to press against Robin Blake and has turned the fight in his favor. We've scored every round since round 8 for the champion, Paul. Even though Blake did rally somewhat in the 10th, following the first knockdown, it looked to us as though Jimmy Paul still won that 10th round. Our scoring, of course, this doesn't matter a whit. It will be the three judges, Dalby Shirley, Lucien Jobert, and Al Walensky, who will determine the outcome if we go the distance.
Tim, Blake is now back to his original fight plan, circling to his right and throwing a lot of left jabs.
Also seems to have his legs back a little bit, Ray. What do you think?
Well, yes, and he seemed to be pawing with his jab. He needs to put some sting behind it to make Paul respect it.
You know, Tim, this is the 13th round of the fight. Blake has landed a lot of punches. There's not a mark on Jimmy Paul to let you know he's been in the fight.
Scheduled for 15 rounds under the championship distance for the International Boxing Federation, the newest of the three world organizations. Confusing to boxing fans to have three champions, but here we are. Jimmy Paul, a worthy champion indeed, and Blake showing himself to be a worthy challenger.
Well, Blake somehow got his legs back where they came from, but he has them back. He's bouncing, dancing.
Left jab, and right behind it by the champion. Blake having difficulty throwing to the head of Jimmy Paul. He just protects so well. He'll take the body shot, so it's very hard to hit him in the head.
What I like about Jimmy Paul, he keeps those hands high, which means he's not that easy to hit. A very good defensive fighter. The hands once again of Blake on the drop again.
Under a minute to go, round 13. Left hook by the champion, backs up the challenger Blake again.
You can anticipate a punch landing because as Blake drops those hands, with the concentration of Jimmy Paul, it's inevitable those punches going to land.
Blake has absolutely no power. He doesn't move Paul at all when he hits him.
Another solid left by the champion. Blake battles off the rope.
For all those punches, he didn't move Paul 1 inch. There's nothing behind his punches.
Final seconds, round number 13.
I like Krylon spray paint. Look, Krylon goes on smooth, professional. 12 minutes later, Krylon's dry to the tackle. An hour later, the other one's still wet. Krylon for a smooth, fast, professional finish.
Water beating on your car means your wax is still working. In tests, Rain Dance keeps water beating long after the other leading wax falls flat. Use longer-lasting Rain Dance, and you won't have to wax so often.
Round number 14 of the scheduled 15-round championship bout, Jimmy Paul and Robin Blake. I now have the champion Paul ahead on my card, and of course he's got those two-point rounds working from the knockdowns in round 9 and 12. 2 rounds remaining if it goes the distance. The tide turned from round 8 on by the champion Jimmy Paul. Blake still busy and trying, but as Gil Clancy has pointed out, not much effect with his punches at all. Nonetheless, scoring points by continuing to be busy.
It's amazing how Jimmy Paul can be just so patient. He just stays there and waits and waits and waits, like he knows he's going to get the opening, and sure enough, he does.
At first, you saw confidence in the face of Robin Blake, and now you see just the opposite, because he's being hammered by Jimmy Paul.
Overhand right landed by Paul. There's a left hook getting through, another left hook. He's got Blake in trouble in the corner again.
He's ready to go, Tim. Now, observe his legs. He knows there's not that much spring to his legs. Trying to throw roundhouse punches. Basically, now he's on instinct.
He has so much courage, Blake. If he gets knocked down, he'll be punching on the way down.
In the 14th round.
He has that head right in front of Jimmy Paul now, just on guts. Nailed again.
Left hook by the champion.
Paul should pour it on now.
He never does, Blake. That's one of his failings. The fact, even after he hurts you, he's not a good finisher. He has to finish you with the one big shot, or two or three.
Paul just walking in now and forcing Blake backwards. Robin Blake continues to throw punches, but they're just being swatted aside by Paul, having no effect. Under a minute to go in the 14th round.
Paul looks as fresh as if it was the first round.
Another big right hand by Jimmy Paul.
Joey Curtis, the referee, is keeping a close eye on Blake because he knows he's getting hit by some big punches. Not too much bounce from the legs of Robin Blake.
There it is. Big right hand.
He's ready to go. Another right hand. Jimmy Paul's turned it into target practice here now. Pulling Blake around. Blake in difficulty. Joey Curtis races in, and that'll be it. It's all over. Jimmy Paul, with a 14th round stoppage, has retained his IBF lightweight title. And Joey Curtis over there saying to Robin Blake, sorry, son, but you just had nothing left there. And in my judgment, it was time to stop the fight. But I don't think there's any serious argument on the part of anybody. Jimmy Paul, with a 14th round knockout, patient, determined, turned the fight around from the 8th round on, showed his superior strength and punching power, and retains his International Boxing Federation Championship. Go back and see the finish.
Oh, look at those right hands. Again, it's just target practice. Robin is fighting on instinct, doesn't know where he is really, and he's getting nailed with all those short, sharp punches of Jimmy Paul. And Joey Curtis, I thought, did a great job. He wasn't too quick. He stopped it just at the right time.
I agree, and we'll be back here live in Las Vegas right now. Let's take time out for this. Here is Jimmy Paul, who has just defended his IBF lightweight championship, stopping Robin Blake in the 14th round. And the usual patient style of Jimmy Paul. We had the challenger ahead of the early rounds. From round 8 on, it seemed that maybe Emmanuel said, it's time now to go to work. Can you tell us about the course of the fight?
Yes, according to Emmanuel wanted me to work and just mainly back up Robin Blake in the early round. And once I was able to establish that, come out and get my props right off the top. And once I was able to establish that, I was able to work from there. And Emmanuel, when they put them together in the late round, come with the short right uppercut and the short left hook behind it. And he said that was a shot to knock Robin Blake out, the short left hook.
You never worry about running out of rounds, evidently. You figure you're going to get him eventually?
Oh, yes, I did. Robin is a good guy. He comes on. He tagged me pretty good one time when I had him hurt. And I was able to overcome that and go on successfully in this.
One thing you knew about Robin Blake is that he wasn't going to be easy. He wasn't going to quit. You had to do it yourself, didn't you?
Oh, yes, that's true. Robin Blake is one of the toughest fighters out today, and I felt that he was the only guy that really would give me a problem, but now I'm going looking ahead to become the undisputed lightweight champion of the world.
All right, that is a noble ambition. We hope Boxing Power is giving you the chance to do that. Congratulations to Jimmy Paul, the IBF champion. Let's take it back.